glad you're back, and rather wisdomy with your findings on how stress deals with us and how it will beat us if we allow it. So it was fabulous to see you on. Man, I'm so glad you took your shoes back, man. They just didn't fit in my closet anymore. So thanks a million, man. It is so good to see you. It really is. And I'm actually waiting to find out if I even get a link on here. So we'll see what happens. But just wanted to say again, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It is fabulous to have you back. You have been sorely, sorely missed by everyone. So thank you again. And so welcome home, welcome back, and welcome again. Transitional Radio loves you, loves having you back. So we'll keep on trucking so long as you will. And what a great lead in it is for me. So thank you so much, Brian. All right. Well, welcome everybody. I want to thank everybody to the second episode, a big second, big two episode of Thinking Re-envisioned, a show designed around you, the world, and the reasons why we perceive the world the way we do. So heady it may be, but it is a good way to stimulate, invigorate, and roust you. And that's really what my whole intention is. My name is Henry G. Noel, and I am looking forward to stimulating you into looking at yourselves and the world a little bit differently. I want to invigorate your appetite for learning how to unlearn all the crap that we have learned and to understand the responsibility all of this learning has had in creating the lives that we live and the world that we live in. And I want to rouse your curiosity so you can take back control of your life, eliminate the negative effects this world has had on you, and get you to just begin questioning everything. Thinking Re-envisioned is your access code to, well, I'll call it the unknown, where reality seems to become the illusion, and illusion, well, becomes the reality. Your Lego set to a future where you get to build your dreams the way you wanted to and build it any way you want. Now, we're broadcasting live this evening from our uplink studio in Cuenca, Ecuador. And I want to thank our good friends at Wirecast for actually making it possible for us to be broadcasting not only live, but globally. So again, thank you very much, Wirecast. Now we're broadcasting again live on IPMNation.com and Thinking Re-envisioned's Facebook and YouTube pages. Now with video broadcast on Facebook and on YouTube. So I wish to thank all of our listeners who are tuning in on live radio, those listening to our rebroadcasts, and to our fly on the wall listeners that are watching the videos through Facebook. So if it weren't for you all, well, there just wouldn't be any need for me to be here. So I really do thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I wish to extend my heartfelt thank you to all of our listeners from the United States and Ecuador, the United Kingdom, Ireland, New Zealand, Philippines, Australia, the Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Germany, and from Uganda, Albania, Mexico, and Colombia. Thank you all for tuning in on Thinking Re-envisioned. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you for tuning in this evening. Now, I'm aware that your time is extremely valuable, and I thank you for trusting and investing your valuable time with us. So, again, it's great to have you here. Now, it's our intention on Thinking Re-envisioned to provide explanations to the questions that you've been asking. How did we get to this point in our existence? Why is the world so messed up? Why do we feel lost, hopeless, and confused? Who is it who continues to contribute to the fracture and separation of the human race? And what in the world can we do to change it? Now, those are powerful questions, and I think they require powerful answers and a different way of thinking to answer them. So Thinking Re-envisioned is what we're looking to do. Albert Einstein said there's only two ways to live your life. One is through nothing, believe that nothing is a miracle, and the other is to believe that everything is a miracle. So it actually comes to your choice. So why spend it wallowing in all of the negativity? Why surround yourself in the labyrinth that has no way out? Why succumb to authorities whose greatest achievements have been to, well, hold you back, push you down, provide little avenue for you to enjoy your life? So enjoy free audio acupuncture, well, to help you with your chronic philosophical pain, your audio auricular session to reduce your anxiety, your audio medical qigong session to, well, ameliorate your mind, body, and your spirit, and a Reiki consult just to simply restore your rationality. All of this is to provide just a natural healing approach to the medical mayhem we call life. So welcome to Healing in the Nth Degree. It's great to have you here. So for all of our radio listeners who feel participating in this show, who would like to be participating in the show, email your questions to me at henry@henrygnoel.com, and I will be happy to answer them. And if you're listening to our rebroadcasts, please email me, and I will reply to you without any problems at all. And for everything that you guys are doing, for all the support that you're showing, please, all I want to do is create an avenue for everyone to be able to actively be involved in the show. Thinking Re-envisioned. We're here to make you think. We're here to make you question everything. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and check out the thread, see who's all here, and get tonight's show underway. Now, we trust everyone has had a great weekend up to now and has enjoyed it. And we wanted to thank you for joining us on this Sunday night. I mean, I know it's a busy night for everybody. And in Cuenca, Ecuador, the festivities continue this weekend, as this is the Cuenca's independence of Spain. For the last 198 years, it has gained its independence from Spain. So I wanted to thank and congratulate Cuenca and all of its residents for all of the festivities that have gone on for this whole weekend. It's been fabulous. So let's get into the thread, and let's take a look and say hi to our fly on the wall video listeners and see all who's, well, brave enough to show up. I mean, we'll see what's happening. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys. So let's see who's here. We'll find out really quickly here. Oh man. Wow. Great. I read it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Wayne, Alice, thank you so much. Candace, always great to have you on. Let's see. Maria, thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Alice. And let's see. Candace, hello there, kiddo. Wayne, Mary, and Candace. Yep, you're all there. Love it. Fabulous. It's great to have you guys. It's really been kind of interesting. We have, like I said, this Thinking Re-envisioned, and I'm going to kind of introduce you to a little bit about what this show is going to do, just to show you the difference in the way I think Thinking Re-envisioned really needs to go. So what I want to do is talk about, well, we have elections coming up Tuesday in the United States. Not the big presidential election by any means, but the midterm election coming up. And, where for months and months and months, we've been listening to political speak and have bought into one side or the other, hook, line, and sinker. So for months, everyone has been whining and throwing out complaint after complaint and argument after argument, criticism after criticism about this side versus that side, like the fate of the world hangs in the balance. Did anyone bring some cheese to go along with all that whining? Oh my God, just think about donating some solutions, for once. So that would be a fabulous way to go instead of just the complaints. But think about what's been going on. We have politicians who have been acting like children, bickering about those toys, whose toys that they're playing with. When we observe this bickering as just people standing outside of the political world, it's like watching parents fighting, and so what do? We kind of join in on the parents' act. So we all start bickering with each other, just like the politicians do. But the bickering is about their political game. Okay. And we go into this by choosing the sides of those who's playing the game. Now the game, none of us are playing. Okay. The difference is we're nothing more than spectators to an event someone else chose. And they've convinced us that we have an influence over the outcome of the game by bickering with each other on behalf of both sides playing the game. Well, good luck with that. We're never invited to play the game in the first place. So how can we influence the results? How can we actually influence the score from the sidelines? Now, I mean, if you were at a baseball game and a player from the opposing team hits a ball into the stands for a home run, and you happen to catch the ball, is that player out? No. Did he still get credit for the home run? Yeah. And did your team still lose? Yeah. So Mr. and Mrs. Spectator, how did you influence the outcome of that game? You didn't, because this isn't your game. Those are not your toys, and you have no say so. So why is it we all take up a fight that wasn't ours to begin with? Why do we enslave ourselves into this process? Now, a gentleman by the name of Larkin Rose stated, politics, the art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering to dupe average people into accepting or even demanding their own enslavement. A very interesting quote. Now, we have a bunch of politicians pissing in each other's parade, and all we want to do is seem to join them. Now, why? We're the spectators. We aren't invited to play, so there's no way we can influence the outcome. Why are we wasting the time supporting teams we're not part of? Bickering and hating those of us supporting other teams? Are we that crazy? Or are we that fooled? Now, do you really believe you have a say in any of this? I mean, think about this for a second or two. I guess this would be the best way to put it. Those of you who wanted Bernie Sanders, who did you get? You got Clinton. And those who wanted Clinton, who did you get? Well, you got Trump. What more does it take for you to realize you don't matter to these people? You just don't matter to them. You never did. All that matters is you take up the fight by choosing sides in a game that you're only spectators in. And we're never invited to play. So you most certainly will never win because you can't alter the outcome from the sidelines. Franklin Delano Roosevelt stated, presidents are selected, not elected. Spend some time pondering that one. You have never voted. You never vote for your choice when it comes to the president or any person running for any political office for that matter, because the people running for political office, they were all selected years before, groomed, primed, and primed to become your choice. You are simply voting for one or two people someone else selected years ago. Do you really think their allegiance is to you? Someone who you probably would have never voted for come hell or high water back then? Or is their allegiance to the someone who did the selecting and the grooming and the primping and the priming? Okay? Remember the quote credited to Albert Einstein about the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. Well, here's another one of his quotes. Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. And here's another one, if you like. An intelligent fool, any intelligent fool can make things bigger and more complicated. But it takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. So when do you begin making things simpler? When do you become intelligent? When do you start moving in the opposite direction? When do you realize your enslavement and why you demanded it? Or do you never wake up, never demand your freedom, and never begin creating your own path? Now, okay, what does this all have to do with thinking re-envisioned? Okay, as I say in the very opening of this show, I am looking forward to stimulating you into looking at yourselves and the world a little differently. I want to invigorate your appetite to learn how to unlearn all the crap we have learned and understand the influence that this learning has had in creating the lives we live and the world we live in. And I want to rouse your curiosity so you can take back control of your life, eliminate the negative effects this world has had on you, and get you to begin questioning everything. I then continue with thinking re-envisioned is your access code to the unknown, where reality seems to be the illusion and the illusion becomes the reality. And this is just a sampling of what I want you to begin questioning. You see, when I say questioning everything, I mean questioning everything in every aspect of your lives. Because this stuff I just talked about, all this political stuff, is only one example of how we are coerced into making decisions that affect everything in our lives. And we're just like Nike. We just do it. We don't ask. So this is the stuff that I really want to get into. I really want to get people to understand that we are in control. As soon as we give up the control that others have over us, we actually gain control. And it's understanding this concept. It's realizing the games that we're being led by the nose to go play. And it isn't for our benefit at all. None of it is for our benefit. Nobody is benefiting by anybody that's sitting in politics at this point in time, except the people sitting in politics. That's all they have to do. And you get to feel good because it was your person that won, or you get to feel bad because it was your person that lost. And yet you both sides don't benefit at all from any of it. It's the handful, the select few. It's the ones that are involved, the chosen few. We're not them. We're not that chosen few. So we have to get that out of our heads. We deal with all of this and understand that all of this ties into so many other topics and so many other subjects, because everything we deal with is things that we believe in. We believe in the vote because we were raised that way. We believe in what the politicians have to say. We take it to heart, and we feel slighted when it doesn't go our way. Well, it was never supposed to go our way. We're not the ones that are going to do this. Rosa, welcome, Rosa. It's great to see you. Thanks for being there. I appreciate you tuning in. So yeah, this is sort of the way that I want to go with it. Like I said, this is just a short little break in to give you an idea of what it's going to be about. But it's really to make you think. I don't want to be the one that always has to tell you, okay, stop. You realize what just went on. So now that we're distracted with that, what is going on that we're not paying attention to? What is being slipped under the carpet that we're missing because we're so distracted on what one of the Kardashians is wearing? This is what is done to us all the time. And so I want, yeah, there you go. Secret societies, that's secret societies within our government for that matter. I mean, it's really hard. That's really where everything lies. I mean, the power lies within those few. And the president's not one of them people. I mean, I don't think any head of state is really the one that's got the power. It's the organizations within the government those are the ones that have the power. And of course, we don't know about any of those because they are secret. So it really is hard to really get into the whole realm. And that's why I want to go into it one at a time and one issue at a time. And I thought that since elections are coming up on Tuesday and everybody's going to run out there and vote. Okay. Let's hope it does some good. But remember, you're not part of the game. It's not your toys. And when the game gets called because of weather or because of a foul or because of a war, it's not your toys they're picking up. It's their toys. And you just got to vote them in and let them play the game. And you just do the substitution thing. So, yeah. So remember that poor person out there in the grandstands of the stadium catching that baseball has no effect on the game. He just has a souvenir. And that's really all we get out of all of this is a souvenir. So we have to change our thinking. We have to really change the way we see ourselves, the way we see the roles we play, the way we see how we're pushed and twisted into doing things that up to now, up to today, up to this moment, we've taken for granted. This is just normal. This is the way to be an American. This is the way to be proud. This is the way to wave the flag. Guess what? They're not your toys. Sorry. They're just not your toys. And it's not important what you think. It's important what you do. It's important what you don't do. We have to take control of ourselves. We have to. And the best way to do that is to give up all the control everybody else has over us. So that's really where I want to go with this. So anyway, questions that you have, please, anybody is fine. And for those listening on the radio, write. If you have an opinion, tell me. If you're sitting in the armed forces right now, somewhere in the world, well, thank you for your service. And I was one of you. I was in the service from 69 to 73. So please, whatever you're doing, don't hesitate to write if you have questions or if you have an idea, or you want to tell me off. That's fine. I take it. I'll go for it, because I think it's important that the point of view gets stated, that it's just not as hunky dory as you believe it is. That it's not all rah rah. It's not all that. It isn't. It's different, and we have to see it differently. And that's why thinking re-envisioned. We need to re-envision the way we think. We have to redo our thinking. We have to look and see who's doing what to whom. Alice says, playing from the sidelines is a good way of explaining it, so it's easily understood. Thank you very much, Alice. It's the way I had to sit down, and I came up with that whole concept today because I needed a way to explain it. And I had no other way to do that except that I've known this. And and I've worked presidential campaigns. I know what it's like to be in the trenches and work and get invited to the potential president's birthday party. But let me tell you, it's an ego game, and that's what the control is. So anyway, yep. I'm sorry, I was being signaled by my brother here. Okay, so anyway, everything seems to be. This is the way we're going to go with the show. I think we're going to run it down this way and see how it goes. Anyway, feedback would be great. I would really love your opinions, and if you have no problems doing that, you can either message me, private message me if you'd like, and let me know what you think. If this will work for you. It is going to open doors. I am going to be stepping on toes. I'll apologize for that up front, because I probably won't apologize for it at the time. But I will step on toes. I will hurt people's feelings. And part of the grooming, I think, from Brian's show about thickening skins and things like that, that's what it's supposed to be about. And that's why we're trying to set things up so that you'll have learned things and know where I'm coming from. And Brian's a little bit more off the cuff than I am. Well, he's a lot more off the cuff than I am. And so when he gets involved in this, it should get really interesting, because I'm not saying anything he won't agree with. And I'm going to, not yours. I bet, Candace, I know you can. You've already proven yourself. I love it. But yeah, it's something that we really need to start facing if we really want to change. If our objective in our life is to make our lives better, is to actually enjoy our lives, to have some fun in our lives, to get back to remembering what it was like to be happy, complete, and content. This is the exercise we're going to have to go through to do this. Let's see, we got, Mary. Joe is stressed because he can't log in. I'm so sorry. You have to know the Constitution or whatever government system you're in, so you don't have to have your head in the sand. You're absolutely right. You're exactly right. And listening to all of the rantings of politicians that say, well, I'll do this and I'll change this. Yes, if you know the Constitution, or you know the political document that legalizes the government and its operation, you have to, in whatever country you happen to be in. And that's no different for me living here in Ecuador. I have to understand the government policies, and I know where I can go with it. I know where I have to draw the line. So it's really it is a learning experience for me too, being in a different country, of course, then with a different language. But yeah, thank you, Mary. Joe, thank you so much. And Mary, please thank Joe for me, because it's no problem that he can't get on. I appreciate the comment from him. Thank you. We really do have much to talk about, and much to go. So I really believe that this way we'll start to strip away one little shroud after another of beliefs, things that we worship, things that we count on, things that seem so automatic for us to get involved in. And this is going to be the way I want to go. Slowly strip it away till we get back to us, the one in the mirror. When we look in the mirror and now finally can recognize ourselves and understand where the happiness comes from. It doesn't come from who gets elected. The happiness doesn't come from the new coat. It doesn't come from the new car. It comes from you This is where it was placed, and this is where it will be. It will always be there. It's up to you and me whether we want to really spend the time to go look for it. And that's really what it is. So anyway, that's going to be what we're going to talk about. Candace says some believe they are above the laws. It's bad. Yes, it is. And, and it's sad because the way the courts run it, sometimes they are above the law and they can do some pretty horrendous things and get away with it. So it really is. Hi, Sue. Welcome. It's great to see you. Thank you for jumping in here. This is great. Thank you. Love seeing you. Oh, man. So, yes, we are. This is the way we're going to go. Again, I would love your feedback. And believe me, you're not going to hurt my feelings. But I think it's time to call school to order. And I think it's time we really learn what we should have learned in the first place. And in order to make room for that full glass, we're going to have to pour some of that learning out to replace it with the learning that we really do need. And that's what Thinking Re-envisioned is going to do, is bring us that new knowledge, the knowledge that we have, simply not been taught, simply have forgotten, and simply have buried under years and years and years and years of Brian's favorite word, Michigana. I just love that. So I appreciate you guys listening in. I know, I guess I've got to get ready to bug out here. So I want to thank you all. I appreciate you joining me for this Sunday evening. Brian, again, thank you so very much for allowing me to fill in for you. I think I've sweated about 15 pounds off, and I hope your shoes are soaked. So thank you, and welcome back, man. It is great to have you, and I will be on you. Do not overdo it. So I will keep an eye on you, and I can fill in for you whenever you need me to. You know that. So anyway, or I'll have my brother Wayne fill in for you. He's got the connections, and he's got a face for radio too. So anyway, I love y'all. I thank you very much for joining me this evening. You guys take care, and we'll be back here tomorrow evening, Monday evening, one day before the election. So we'll see how things go on that evening. Anyway, have a great evening. Thank you all. Have a good night, man.